What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday. I've had just like the busiest week ever. I've not got half the stuff that I wanted to get done. You're going to be for the grinding dust, but I don't really care. I've not had time to do anything. So I've come in this morning and I've dressed up my little side engine mounting jobby things. They still need a little bit of fettling, but all that can happen when we get ready for, you know, powder coat and blah, 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 blah. I need to get them to both be exactly the same, and there's a little bit off on one. It's just like rounding over corners and just getting everything absolutely equal. So I'll do that when, you know, when we're getting ready for powder coat, but they're perfectly functional as they are at the minute. I didn't make my front ones. I lost my template. I need to make another one. It's just been manic. However, Jack from next door, he's come up treats. There you go, look what he gave me. So this is a piece of stainless, which I gave him. He's building something very cool next door with his dad, and they needed a bit of stainless, so I gave it to them. However, I need a bit of stainless now, so he's give it back. So I'll be chopping off a bit of that, and then they can have it back, and we can just keep on swapping. And he's also given me some of this. What he's building, I'm not telling you, I'm hoping when it is done I'll be able to show you, because it is mega. They're really going to town. It is quite special. But what they're using is a load of alley, and this is, I want to say it's like a couple of mil thick, which I'm thinking this could be ideal for an airbox when I come to make one. This is just an offcut so I can see, you know, I mean, I'll probably end up using it anyway. But I can have a go on Sherman and see how it rolls, and, you know, I think you have to anneal it as well before you start rolling it. I don't really know. I've not done anything with alley before. So that'll be interesting. But he's got a load of that stuff, which they don't need, so I can just have it, which is awesome. So, today, what was I going to do? I was going to start on the seat. However, I might have had a change of heart. I want to see what that exhaust looks like and get that fitted. I'm itching to see if it goes with this swing arm. So that's what I'm probably going to do first, which is why I need a bit of stainless. Right, let's have a brew and get to it, eh? Right about now, Steve-O is sitting in Bridgewater screaming at his telly, going, no, wrong, take it off, that's my exhaust, you're not having it. Well, I am, mate. You snooze, you lose. My bike's here, your bike ain't. For those that don't know, the whole channel started with me and Steve-O doing his bike, Jixit. There is a playlist and you'll see all this going on. But basically I made this exhaust for his bike, and then for whatever reasons and stuff, we had to put his bike on hold, and then I moved on to doing ASBO and blah, 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 blah. So, I kept his exhaust because I made it. It's up here. Let me show you. Right, so, oh, I need to fill that up. Is it full of grinding? It's full of grinding dust. Be alright, a little bit of iron in your diet is apparently a good thing if you're pregnant. Right, so these are the exhaust, well, okay, this is the original exhaust that I stuck back on ASBO when we first got him back on the road. So essentially it's just a can from Wish, the link pipe, and that's it basically. And then this is the one that I made, because I didn't like the look of that one. This is the exhaust that ASBO was dynoed on. I'll see if I can get a picture. I don't know, I've still got the dyno. I know it's not here, it might be on the laptop. But we did do a dyno run. There's a few things that we noticed from it. It's quite a good strong engine, makes good power and whatnot for what it is. There is a dip. If memory serves, it's around 2.5, 3K, but then you get past that and it just makes nice power all the way to the top sort of stuff. That little dip is because we're running a short can, apparently, according to the performance bloke that was dynoing it. But yeah, little stubby cans, you will get that dip around 2.5, 3K. And the only baffles and stuff that's in this is obviously in the can. All this is just a straight through tube. But I don't like the look of that because it's all skinny and then it goes big at the end and you've got all these rivets and fixings and clamps and everything. I didn't like any of that, so I made this one. It's not finished. I still need to dress down the welds and whatnot. You know, the finish isn't what it should be. There's a little bit of gore in there where I was a bit keen with the angry grinder. So, you know, it does need dressing up. I just want to see if the thing fits and if it looks the part. It's completely homemade. And the baffles that you find in the end can, there's 2 of them in this. It's pretty much the same sort of length. A little bit shorter, not much. But the baffle, instead of having it as an end can, there's one baffle in here which is plated both ends and then it's got some of this in there and then exhaust blanket wrapped around it, you know, just packing, and then there's another bit on that straight bit there. So I've probably got more baffles in this than I do in that. Now I have no idea what it's going to be like. This tube is the same size as the headers, so 38mm. It's just perforated and then you've got the blanket around the outside. So I can't remember how loud that one was. I want to say it was 98 or something. 98 decibels-ish. I don't know. We did measure it. I'll have to go back and have a look. I've got no idea if this one is going to be louder or quieter. I haven't got a clue. No idea how it's going to perform. Stuff that is important is the length of the exhaust, for one, because there's like a pressure wave that, you know, goes forwards and backwards and all that stuff. So you also get back pressure, that's an important thing. Again, I don't know how this is going to perform. Then as far as noise, it's like the length of the can. Well, I've got more packing in here than I do in that. You would think it'd be quieter, but the first bit is right up here. So again, I've got no idea how that's going to do. I've also got no idea what it's going to be like when you get on it. So, you know the bit where just like you're pootling along and your exhaust note is whatever and it's yay loud, and then you get on a straight bit of road and you open the taps and the revs start building and you get to a certain point where suddenly the engine note changes and it all gets very loud and shouty. Mr. Man. It all gets really loud and shouty and stuff. Well, what I understand to be happening, and I could be wrong, I'd be really interested to know, is that at the lower revs, the exhaust gases is coming down the perforated tube through the collector into the exhaust and whatnot. In this case, it's only doing this in the can. In this case, it's going to be doing it there and there. But exhaust gases kind of bleed through these holes and into the exhaust blanket, the padding, and it kind of deadens the sound. It takes a lot of the nasty out of it. But then, as you get on it and there's more exhaust gases coming through here and the pressure goes up and everything else, the pressure of the exhaust gas held within the blanket or the silencer kind of gets to a point where no more is getting into it, I think is how it goes. So basically the exhaust gases is now just rushing straight down what is effectively a straight tube, and that's when it changes. I would love to know if that's right or wrong. but I think that's the way it works. So, you know, at a certain point, if this is the same length and you're at the same RPM where the exhaust gases is just whooshing straight through and coming straight out the other end, you would think this would be just as noisy as that. You would think. But I don't know. I really don't know. This one is 50 there, I think. I don't know how big the end can is. This is 74 here and then 64 there. So I think this started life as an R1 link pipe. I just chopped it up. But that's it. I just want to see what it looks like because it's a lot nicer than that one. It's just simple, isn't it? Right, I might have to make up some adapters for the headers because I found these and the ends is different and I don't know why. I don't know, we'll have a go. Right, let's have a look. Does this even go on these headers? Oh yes, it does. Well, that bracket is totally in the wrong place. Okay. And you just ain't gonna fit, are you? At all. I don't think. Well, I don't know, it could do. You don't go in that one, you go in that one. Right, so we're basically on to the top two on the collector. This is awful close here. Bear in mind it's on a paddock stand, so there is pressure on this going up, which is basically touching there. So this is going to need to change, which shouldn't actually be hard. What I can do is chop it just before this bend here starts, and then I can just, with all this held where it needs to be, I can just rotate this around and bring it out a little bit. So that'll all be good. The bracket obviously needs to move, but from where it is I could hide that right behind the frame here, so that could be quite sweet actually. You just wouldn't see it at all from the side instead of this big thing. I do quite like the look of it. It is angry looking, isn't it? And I like it's just flat as well. Collector is all like, you know, it's square basically, so the top is horizontal. It just needs to move around a bit. You know, we need to pull it out a bit and have a bit of space. So rather than change the angle of this, we're just going to clock this and turn it around, I think. I'll chop it off there just by that bracket, because the bracket's going to have to go anyway. Right, okay. The front, however, I need to shorten up a couple of headers. Right, so front, this is pretty much level as far as the collector goes, and the top two header pipes for the outside cylinders is in, but I can't get the bottom ones in. So choices would either be chop these and lengthen them, which could be doable, or leave it where it is and shorten these two. Which again could be doable. I don't know which way would be best to go. It is quite nice and tucked in, which I do like. Is that 38mm? No, it's 35mm. What tube have I got? Alright, the tube I've got is 38, this is 35. So we're going to be shortening them. Well, that was easy, wasn't it? I do like it shorter though, because it'll keep it all nice and tucked in, which is a good thing. But if I lock that off, I should be able to get this a little bit straighter. And then I'll just clock this round, so it brings the exhaust out a little bit on the back, and we should be in. We should be all lined up. I've just got to trim the right amount off each of these, which is different. And I don't know why they're different. This was fitted to Steve-O's bike, but he did have a 750 engine in it, so maybe that's where the difference is. I don't know. Either way, these are going to need to be chopped and then joined again. So what I'll do is I'll chop it somewhere, stick this back in the collector, we'll see what the overlap is, and I'll just keep whittling it down until I get a really nice fit, and then that's where I'm going to leave it, I think. But that exhaust is going to look mint. See, I knew it was a good design. Well, you know, assuming it works. Only one way to find out though, isn't there? Find my keys. First is the bloody engine mounts, which I still haven't found, but I don't care because I've got some more. Now it's my keys. Well, I need my keys. I've chopped up both headers and I've tacked them in, but now I've got to fully weld it and purge it and all the rest of it. But I need to shut the door because there's a draft coming through. It's just going to blow all the gas off, and I can't find my bloody keys anywhere. Where are they gone? I had them. I know I had them because I got in. This is ridiculous. I had them. I undid the door with them. I know I've got them. I turned up. My memory is getting shocking. Absolutely shocking. I can remember 70s song lyrics now more than while I just walked into the kitchen. There we go, happy days. just mucking about with ideas at the minute, and I don't know what to do. This I can clock round. Basically I can rotate the collector pipe sort of 90 degrees at a time, and it does change where this sits. At the minute it's down, so if I clock it another 90 it will bring this end back in and up a bit, so this runs parallel to the bottom of the frame, which is what I want. The bit I'm stuck with is I was going to be running the exhaust like that. That's how it was originally designed, if you like. Keep everything low, which is kind of calf, you know, all that sort of stuff. However, I can't even remember how I saw it. But that's one option. Another option is to go a little bit higher level with it. So if I was to get a mandrel bend, like I'll get like a 45-degree mandrel bend and just chop it up a little bit. But basically I could have it run like that, which is a little bit more, I'm not going to say obnoxious, but it just looks a little bit more up for it. We are going to have footrest hangers in here, don't forget. Still got loads of clearance to the swing arm and the brake torque arm. So I could run it high, or I could run it low. I don't know which is going to be the best, if I'm honest. So the thought does occur. This bike is basically being won by one of you lot who's watching. If you don't know what I'm on about, have a look in the description. It's all explained in that. And I don't mind either way. I quite like it up, but I quite like, I mean, originally I did it the low look, so I quite like both of them. So where I can't decide on something, I think what I'm going to do is just throw it open to the floor. You can vote on it, because one of you lot is going to get it. I'm not keeping it. So what would you like to see? Do you want it low? Like that? I will try and get some pictures of it. Well, no, actually I'm not going to be able to, am I? Because I can't stick it there and then take a picture. But you can have it low like that, or you can have it more sort of up, 45-degree angle, something like that. It would just be a case of cutting a mandrel bend in the right slices and just clocking them so I can get the rotation right and the spacing, which shouldn't actually be all that hard, I don't think. I think that'll be all right. So anyway, your chance to vote. And I'm not doing it until you do. And whoever comes up trumps in the comments and stuff, we just go with that. I'm not sticking a normal can on it. So we might as well just do something completely different that looks cool. And I'd like to know what you think. So, if you've got a preference, stick it down in the comments. I do go through all the comments every time. If you get a heart next to it, then you know I've seen it basically, and I'll just tot them up, and whatever we decide is what we decide, and that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, at least all the headers is done. I might put an extra little bit in at the top just to send it that way a tiny amount, because we're a bit close to that frame tube, and I would just like a little bit more clearance, if I'm honest. But there's no gaskets in here at the minute anyway, so that's going to space things out. But I just want to make sure it's all clear. So there is going to be a fair bit of fussing and fettling with this, quite a lot of welding again, and an awful lot of dressing up, but we'll get there in the end. So that's where I'm going to leave it for this one. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you're well and staying safe, and I will see you on the next one, and I'll tell you what we're doing with this. Laters.